Up and running?
Yeah, also on.
Yes. And 2 cameras this time.
Yeah.
Thanks,
we can make the professional cuts out of it.
Are you not staying in here?
No, I'm gonna film my stuff on the
Okay,
job.
go.
Cool.
All right, man. So it's, like I said, it's going to be filming. Thanks for coming.
More than welcome.
For the people who don't know my guest today, for the second episode, it's going to be the infamous Matthew.
Yes.
So thanks for joining us today, taking time from your busy schedule to talk to us, to the community. And the reason I want to talk to you today is because, 2 reasons, is because you're one of our consultant managers, really central role in the company.
Thanks for inviting me. Excited to be here.
My pleasure.
To keep it short and sweet as an introduction, as Wissam just said, I'm Matthew, 32 years of age, born and raised in Zoetermeer. Currently still living there together with my girlfriend Leon and my cat. She's called Rookworst. In English, that's smoked sausage. And
Smoked sausage.
Yeah.
How did you find scitec?
A good question. It's actually a big coincidence.
Okay.
My previous job was also a consultancy company, and I was just looking for some ideas how to improve the company. And I came across the website of scitec, and I saw the event calendar, and that's what sold me. As you might have gotten to know me by now, is the most important thing for me is the culture of a company. And it just touched me. So I put on my naughty shoes, I reached out to the recruiter, and now we're here.
The rest is history.
The rest is history. Yeah.
But you joined us as a consultant manager, which is I think when you joined you're probably the first person.
I was the first one with the official
you're
role.
The original consultant manager.
Yeah,
So
the
how does
OG.
it feel? The OG.
Yeah.
How does it feel to be the original consultant manager? Because I personally, just to give you a little bit of history, I've worked with startups before, and usually in startups sometimes it's similar to scitec, where you just getting to know how the company works sometimes, and then you start inventing new roles.
And wearing multiple hats at a certain point.
Exactly, and retiring other roles. So I'm definitely familiar with how much responsibility is involved when you're the OG, like you said.
Yeah.
How did it feel being the OG of the consultant managers? And what is a consultant manager?
Yeah.
Can you tell us what a consultant manager is?
Good question.
Yeah.
Well, it feels great. I think it was really needed within the company because, as you say, it's a really central role.
Yeah.
So to explain to people a bit more about the responsibilities of myself, of consultant manager, is we're a consultancy company. So all of our colleagues are doing amazing work at the whole spectrum of clients we have. But in the end, you're working there for 40 hours a week. So you will lose touch with the mother company, scitec in this case. And how I always describe my role, let's say at a party to friends, is first and foremost, I'm the face of the company for a lot of our colleagues. I'm the go-to guy. They will come with questions regarding HR, policies, benefits, but also to just have a chat. And another important aspect is how are they doing at the client? Are they satisfied? Are they being challenged? Are there any hiccups? So it's a really diverse role, and I'm constantly out in the field, talking to people.
Clients.
Yeah.
Amazing. And how did you? Okay, so you also mentioned about the fun aspect of things. And okay, now I'm gonna get to the point I skipped earlier. You are the one who brings the party to the party.
Yeah. Definitely. Yes. I do my best.
So I mean that in the best possible way. All that energy, all that. So how do you keep that energy high?
That's a good question.
And you have to give it to all those, because correct me if I'm wrong. Now it's yourself and another consultant manager sharing the responsibility of all these responsibility of the whole group. About 100 consultants now and counting.
Yeah.
So how do you keep it up?
I get asked this question in my personal life as well.
Yeah.
I guess I'm just a high energy type.
Yeah.
And indeed, especially at parties or whatsoever, the company events, I just try to make them as legendary as possible. And especially working with people, and especially within scitec, you know, there are lots of cool people, and for me, it's a loop that's self
generated.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I guess for me personally, it looks harder than it is for me.
So you're natural.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Okay. And how do you deal with, let's say, when it's fun, right?
Yeah.
But
those are the easy parts.
the easy parts,
Yeah,
the fun
yeah.
one, just like smoothly cruising.
Yeah.
But when there's like, let's say, for situations where, because you said you're managing the relationship between our consultants and clients.
Yeah.
Like, what do we do in these cases where, let's say, the consultant is not feeling at ease at the client, or the client is not
Clashing with a manager, for example.
Exactly. How do we deal at scitec with these situations?
Yeah, it's always taking everything on a case by case basis. But what I think is really important is that, in essence, I meet up with everybody from my team, mostly in person, once every 6 weeks.
Yeah.
So I'm quite in the loop of what's going on.
Okay.
And what's really important for me is to spot things before they become an issue. You know, so if somebody...
So it's like more a preventive approach.
Okay. You know, if somebody tells me, oh Matt, you know, last Monday I had a clash with my manager, but it's all good, you know, I have to dive into it. Okay, what was the issue? You know, is this gonna become more occurring? You know, is it something that you did where we can work on, either soft skill, hard skill wise, or do you need a certain approach? You know, you got more traditional managers, you got a whole spectrum of personalities.
Yeah, I see that. Yeah, and it's really important to keep that, because we pride ourselves to be a different type of consultancy.
Yeah,
I've said before, like a consultancy plus or so. Where you're not just giving people to the client, you also, you know,
especially
trying to follow up,
not forgetting about them part.
Yeah, exactly.
I think consultancy kind of has a bad name in certain groups, areas. And you know, I like our unofficial slogan, people first company. And this is really something which is, I think, for me personally, the most important aspect of my role. You know, be there for the guys and make them feel like part of scitec and not just splinter cells broken up over our clients.
Exactly. Cool, awesome. And speaking about scitec and fun events, what is your most favorite?
Oh man, I got tons.
Okay. Can you share a story with us?
I think the most fun stories will not be shared on this on this podcast.
Yeah, let's cut this.
Let's cut this. But no, generally speaking, it's the scitec and the snow ski trip.
Okay.
That was 5 days of absolute madness, and it was so great to getting to know people outside of the regular work environment. You know, to a certain degree, I can always make people get a bit more loose than they might be with other people in the company or with other managers. But because you're isolated from work for 4 to 5 days, it's on a completely different level. And
you get to know people.
Amazing stories from the scitec and the snow.
I had Mikhail on the previous episode, and I asked him the same question, and he had the same answer. Just for delicate. For clarity. For clarity, it's not one event, so we do these every year. And, generally in February, April, March, April.
Exactly. Usually in February. This year it's going to be in March. So already looking forward to the next one.
Awesome. Ask you about this perspective here, because I deal with developers as well in my role at scitec. I do a little bit of management as well, and we have this, you know, that triangle, like you're aware. We have the consultant in the middle, we have the consultant manager, we have the chapter lead, and we have the account manager.
Yeah.
And when I try to explain the consultant manager role for people, they think when they're just new, generally when they're new, they say, okay, well, is it a manager? And what I try to tell them is like, think of it like a talent manager. You know, when like I have actors or athletes or so, you have these people who are in charge of, giving them the best experience possible when working with clients. What do you think about this perspective? Or what can we add to it?
No, I, for the most part, I agree with it. Because I would say 80% of my role is not in a manager kind of way.
No.
I managed. I'm really here to be the face of scitec for the bonding to scitec.
Yeah.
I want to make sure that you're satisfied with your client, with your project, with your professional growth.
Yeah.
But on the other side, of course, there are more traditional management aspects to it, like evaluation, salary negotiations, and stuff like that. But
which is part of the.
It's part of them. Yeah. No.
It's about making it as fun as possible, like you said, and as more like involving the other person, involving the consultant themselves. I agree. Yeah,
and it's also really important to always make it a two-way street. I am always really clear and upfront from the get-go, is that if you are having issues at your project or you're not satisfied with it, come to me. We can talk it over. We'll first see if there's a solution. If there's no solution, we will find you a new project, a new client, whatsoever. I'm not the boogeyman.
Definitely not the opposite of whatever the opposite of boogeyman is. Yeah. Question I ask every guest is, who is your favorite scitec person?
I really like this question. It's for me. To put it like this, first, I'm a bit biased in my original answer, and that's mainly a good friend of mine, Rens. He's my referral to the company. I know the guy for 15 years, so shout out to you, Rens. But I made a lot of good friends within scitec who I talk to outside of work as well. Yeah. But I would say, if I would have to name someone, I would name two, and that's Saskia and Andres. Those are my partners in crime. Okay. It's, yeah,
I understand. That's cool. I thought you were going to mention me, so awesome. A question that I get asked a lot is because we are also an international company, so we have a lot of people who just come here for the first time and they hit the ground running.
Majority of the people.
Exactly. You know that we do a lot in terms of recruitment, getting them used to the country, helping with different things. But what do you do in your role to assist expats?
It goes above and beyond. Most of them are, as I always like to say, they're not just switching countries, they're switching continents. So it's completely new and different for them, and they know they can always phone me up or they know where to find me, and it can be questions for, okay, what bank do I need to go to, what insurance, where can I play basketball, everything and anything. They come to me. Also about certain things. Last week one of the guys sent me a message. His colleagues, they tried to fed him a broodje met hagelslag. I told him I fucking love it, but he was so weirded out by it. He sent me a picture of a broodje hagelslag.
How do you say that? It's an acquired taste for people who are not from the Netherlands. We'll put a picture here for the
broodje hagelslag.
Awesome. I love it too, by the way. Another question I ask every guest on the show. What is your least favorite scitec moment?
Well, since I'm in people operations, my really least one I cannot talk about. No, I would say for my least favorite scitec moment were, and this is gonna sound strange at first, but were the first 3 months. And I joined scitec in the heat of the pandemic. And I'm a people's person, and especially within my role. And the first 3 months, I was just working from home and doing everything digitally. And it was so hard for me to really get a taste of the company, of the
Yeah.
people, of the culture, and so
Of course, yeah.
I would definitely say that's my
Yeah. Yeah,
yeah.
It's like taking an athlete, to get an athlete and taking their feet away from him.
It's
more.
like Max Verstappen just putting him on a virtual driving sim. It's
That's a very good analogy. Yeah. And how did you personally deal with that?
push through it. I think especially more points of contact than when you have IRL interactions.
Yeah.
But no, I was so happy when everything cleared up for personal life as well, of course, but especially also with just getting to know the community.
Yeah.
And this is really what I like about scitec. It's a community. For the people who don't know it, maybe we have opened a second location in the heart of Amsterdam, the Jordaan.
Mm-hmm.
We call it the Dev Hub, and especially on Fridays, there are like 20 people working from the Dev Hub, and then at let's say 4 or 5, we open up a beer, we have a good time, and that really shows a lot about.
Definitely. Grow, share, relax.
Yeah.
That's our motto.
Yeah.
Thanks for being here today.
Yeah.
I really appreciate it.
Thanks for the invite.
Yeah. And,
Always lovely to chat.
Yeah, same here. And I'll talk to you next time.
Yeah.
See you guys in the next episode.
I haven't tried January. En,
Try January.
Dus,
Ik zie heel veel advertenties hierover.
Ja.
Alcoholvrije dingetjes.
Ja, het is voor mij nu vooral even na de decembermaand moet mijn lever gewoon even weer
Uitrusten, man. Ja.
Nee joh, alleen al tijdens de kerst dat ik 5
Ik heb
dagen
iets
op
voor
een
jou.
rij.
Ik heb iets voor jou. Kom je, wanneer,